What is up, internet? I just want to do a little video about EOS. For those of you who don't know, got a lot of subscribers on my channel for non-crypto stuff, but EOS is a cryptocurrency, and right now it's more just a token, but that's about to change in about a week. So I have money invested in EOS, and just kind of wanted to make a video about why I think maybe you should too. First of all, if you don't know anything about cryptocurrencies and you're not an investor in crypto right now, I would probably just suggest that you don't take my advice, because crypto is very risky. I mean, just yesterday the price of EOS dropped 20%. I think today it's up 10%. I mean, these things are very common. These big price swings happen just about every day. So if you're not used to that or prepared for that financially, I don't want you to get into it just because I'm telling you to get into it, but definitely do your homework on any investment. I'm not a financial professional or a crypto professional in any way. But anyways, so the reason I really like EOS is because Dan Larimer, the creator of it, he also created Steemit, and I do a little bit of blogging on Steemit, and I've earned a couple $1,000s worth of Steem tokens just from blogging about, parts of my life and things that I've done and ideas that I've had. And it's a pretty cool system and a cool way to get into crypto if you're not in it already, and if you like to write especially. It's just basically a social media site where you get paid for your content that you produce, instead of Facebook, where Facebook gets paid for your content basically. So through Steemit, you kind of get an idea of how the creator of Steemit thinks, how Dan Larimer's mind works, and the whole Steemit system I think is brilliant in a lot of ways. I mean, that's a whole nother video, but basically the whole platform, it incentivizes stake in the Steem blockchain or the Steem system. And so the way that it does that is it gives you power, what's called Steem power, based on how much Steem that you actually own. So the more Steem tokens that you have, the more influence that you have on the platform, and that encourages content producers to be invested in Steem. Now, with any crypto right now, a lot of the investment that's in it isn't actually and Steem is a great example. Hold on a second, my dog's running off. Moses! Just a sec. Alright, sorry about that. I'm at the park with my dog, and I'm just over by this building to get out of the wind, and my dog was bothering some people. So anyways, what I was saying was, with any cryptocurrency, especially right now, most of the value that's like the market cap is just derived from speculation. So you have a lot of people just putting money into it because they're hoping that it will gain in value and they'll make money off of their investment or their speculation. And even with Steemit, I think that's the case right now. There's only there's been $40 million worth of Steem that's been paid out to content producers, but the platform is the whole blockchain, the market cap is like 700 million. So that kind of shows you how a lot of the value is just derived from people who are speculating and not actually getting a lot of utility out of the blockchain itself. And with EOS right now, it's just a token. This blockchain, there isn't a public ledger yet. It's being released in about a week. not sure how long it will take to roll it out, but in June of 2018, it's going to become active and not just be a token. It will be a functioning blockchain. And so once that happens, there's going to be an incentive to buy and hold the token other than just the speculation on the value. There's a lot of decentralized apps that are being built and will be able to be used on the Steem blockchain. And in order to get the most utility out of the Steem the EOS, in order to get the most utility out of the EOS blockchain with a delegated proof of stake, you are going to want to own as much EOS as possible. Just how you want to own as much Steem as possible, since they both run off delegated proof of stake. The more Steem you have, the more influence you have. So I'm not sure of the exact specifics of how EOS is going to work, but I know it will be run very similarly. So if you want to have basically a lot of bandwidth on this system, and you want to run a lot of transactions, then I'm guessing you're going to want or need to own a lot of EOS to be able to do that. So in a week there will be an incentive for not institutional investors, but there will be an incentive for enterprise to invest in the EOS blockchain, because they will actually be getting utility out of it. They will be able to do more things as far as run apps on the blockchain. So right now, like I said, a lot of the value is based on just speculative investors, and pretty soon I think a lot of the value will be based on enterprises getting utility on it. And then so what that means is, once you have this application that is on a blockchain, you're not going to be trading, selling and buying and selling all the time, because you need that functionality for whatever app that you have. And as your app grows, you're probably going to want to buy even more EOS. So I think that's really going to drive up the value of the Steem blockchain, and especially once, like in maybe a year or two from now, when a lot of really useful applications are being built on the blockchain. And I really think this is going to happen because the capabilities of EOS from day one are going to basically be hundreds of times better than Ethereum and a lot of other blockchains right now. So it hasn't happened yet, but we're talking about this is supposed to be happening next week and next month. And if you are a Steemit user and you see how genius that the delegated proof of stake is, and you'll have faith in Dan Larimer and really believe in this new blockchain that's coming out. So all right, let me just sec. Okay, so in the short term, there are a few things just based on simple economic principles that I think are going to really drive up the price of EOS in the next 2 months. So the first thing, right now, over the last basically I think it's 340 days, EOS has been doing their ICO on the Ethereum blockchain, and they've been issuing tokens. And I think over the last year, it's at around 900 million tokens have been issued over that period of time. And then over that year, the price has actually increased. So even though the supply of EOS went from basically 0 to 900 million, the price, the moving average has significantly increased over that time, even though the supply has multiplied by thousands of times basically since the original offering. So what that means is the demand has been increasing faster than the supply has been increasing, and the supply has been increasing very, very quickly. Once the snapshot happens next week, I believe the inflation rate is going to be at 5%. So over the last year, it's been at like 1,000,000%, and the value of EOS has increased, and it's about to be at 5%. So, and that's also it's going to go down to 5% as real value is actually being added to the blockchain and people are starting to actually use it, and it actually starts to exist at that point. So, what is that going to do to the price? I think as long as the technology works, it's going to skyrocket as far as the price of EOS tokens goes. Right now, I believe it's at around $12, and I think it has the potential, as far as market cap, to pass Bitcoin in the next couple of years. A lot of things could happen between then and now, but I think it definitely has the potential to do that. Another thing in the short term is, so there's been this ICO, these tokens have been issued, and then they're trading on different exchanges. People have them on different wallets. But in order for your ERC20 EOS token to transfer onto the EOS blockchain, you have to have your tokens registered on like a MyEther wallet, or in an exchange. I think Binance and maybe Bitfinex. I can't remember I think it's Bitfinex. You have to have your tokens on one of those exchanges or registered on a MyEther wallet in order to get your place, to reserve your tokens or your actual EOS currency on the EOS blockchain. But here's the thing. So I was reading this article, and I'll post a link to this article in the description of this video. But this article claims that 65% of EOS tokens have not been registered. So what does that mean? And I don't know the accuracy of their findings. I didn't really dig into it that much. But even if it's not 65%, even if it's like 25%, that's going to be very significant, I think, because all of a sudden you have this value of EOS that right now is, or you have this supply of EOS tokens that right now is close to 900 million. And then so if half of those aren't registered at the snapshot, now you have 450 million. So your supply of EOS tokens just got cut in half. So law of supply and demand, what's that going to do to the price? Maybe double it. I mean, if that's the only factor, then it would double theoretically. So maybe it's not 50%. Maybe it's only 10% of people are going to lose their tokens because they didn't register on a wallet. But that's still very significant. You're decreasing the available supply by 10% overnight. Right at the same time, this thing actually starts to have some utility, and people are going, and the demand is going to increase. So I think that's really going to spike the price in the short term. There are some in that article. It says they are working on solutions for people to recover their funds if their tokens weren't registered. But who knows how long that's going to take? Who knows if that's actually going to work at all? So in the short term, you have a possibility for the supply to be cut in half, and I think the demand to increase, which based on just law of supply and demand, that's going to skyrocket the price of EOS pretty quickly, I believe. So anyways, let me know what you guys think. If I got anything wrong, let me know in the comments, and let me know why or why not you are buying EOS. Thanks.